The Lotus Blossom Café was a quiet haven in London's Chinatown, its soft glow cutting through the evening drizzle. Nestled among neon-lit noodle bars and herbal shops, it smelled of steaming dumplings and jasmine tea, a refuge from the city's grind. Tommy Green, the owner, was a lean man in his late 40s, his dark hair neatly tied back, a faint scar on his cheek hinting at his past as a martial artist. He'd left that life behind, choosing the rhythm of sizzling walks over bruised knuckles. In a corner booth, his old friend Jason, the action star with a voice like a diesel engine and eyes that could freeze a room, sat low, cap shadowing his bald head. Between films, Jason craved the café's anonymity, a place where their dojo-forged bond could breathe. That rainy evening, the café thrummed with life, teacups clinked, Cantonese pop hummed from a battered radio, and patrons savored crispy spring rolls. Tommy moved between tables, his apron flecked with soy, while Jason sipped oolong tea, their shared glance a silent check-in. They'd seen each other through fights, real and personal, and this place was Tommy's hard-won peace. The door swung open, and Li Wei stepped in. Alone, intense, he wore a crisp white kung fu gi, black belt knotted tight, his short black hair framing a face taut with purpose. A rising star in London's underground kung fu scene, Li was known for lightning kicks and a hunger to prove himself. But beneath the bravado, he carried a grudge. Years ago, Tommy had trained Li's older brother, a fighter who'd burned out under the pressure of Tommy's rigorous coaching. Li blamed Tommy for his brother's fall, and tonight, he'd come to settle the score, not just for fame, but for family. Li took a table, his gi stark against the café's warm tones. "Oi, Green," he called, loud enough to turn heads. "Still serving slop to fools who don't know better?" His tone was sharp, laced with old wounds. The room quieted. Patrons sensed the edge in his voice. Tommy approached, calm but alert, his hands steady. "Li Wei," he said, recognizing the young fighter. "Been a while. Try the steamed buns, they're on the house." Li's lip curled. "Don't need your charity, old man. I'm here to see if you're as tough as my brother thought you were." He stood, slow and deliberate, his gi rustling. "Or if you're just a has-been hiding behind an apron." Tommy's jaw tightened, but he kept his cool. "Your brother was a good fighter, Li. What happened wasn't my fault. Sit down, eat, and let's talk." "Talk?" Li spat, his voice rising. "You pushed him till he broke, then walked away. I'm not here for tea." He grabbed a plate of dumplings from a nearby table and smashed it on the floor, the porcelain shattering like his restraint. Gasps rippled through the café, phones came out, and tension thickened the air. Tommy stepped closer, his voice low. "You're hurting, I get it. But this isn't the way. Walk out, or we've got a problem." Li's eyes blazed. "Problem? I'll show you one." He lunged, his fist snapping toward Tommy's face. Tommy parried, his reflexes sharp despite years away from the ring, but Li was relentless. A quick jab caught Tommy's shoulder, sending him into a table. Plates crashed, tea spilled, and patrons scrambled back. Li pressed forward, his kicks precise, each one fueled by years of resentment. A spinning heel kick grazed Tommy's ribs, and he grunted, clutching his side, blood trickling from a split lip. "You ruined him," Li shouted, his voice cracking with emotion, his fist raised for another blow. "Now I'll ruin you." The shadows shifted. Jason rose, his bald head catching the light like a warning. He tossed his cap aside, his presence a quiet storm that silenced the room. "Mate," he said, his voice a low rumble, "you're picking the wrong fight." Li froze, recognition hitting him. "Jason?" he said, his bravado wavering. "This isn't your business." Jason stepped forward, his lean frame radiating menace. "Tommy's my brother. You make it my business." He shed his jacket, revealing muscles honed by years of real training, not just movie magic. The patrons formed a loose circle, their whispers electric. Tommy, wincing but steady, met Jason's gaze, a silent signal, their old dojo trust alive. Lee hesitated, his anger warring with doubt. "You think you scare me? I'm not here for you. You're here for revenge," Tommy said, straightening, his voice calm but firm. "Your brother made his choices. I tried to help him. Let it go, Lee, before you lose more than a fight." Lee's face twisted, pain and rage colliding. "No." He attacked, his kicks a blur, high, low, spinning, each one deadly. But Jason was a ghost, slipping through with lethal precision. A jab to Lee's chest staggered him, a sidestep dodged a palm strike. Tommy joined in, his blocks tight, absorbing Lee's fury. Together, they were unstoppable, Tommy's defense locking down Lee's attacks, Jason's strikes landing like thunder. Lee fought with everything, his GI stained with sweat, but he was outmatched. Jason swept his legs, sending him crashing to the floor, tea soaking his GI. Tommy knelt beside him, pinning his shoulders. "Enough, Lee," he said, his voice steady but not unkind. "You're good, but this anger's eating you. Your brother wouldn't want this." Lee struggled, his chest heaving, but the fight was draining out. "You don't get it," he whispered, his voice raw. "He looked up to you." Tommy's eyes softened. "And I wanted him to succeed. But he couldn't carry the weight he put on himself. Don't make the same mistake." Jason loomed, his stare unrelenting. "Get up, mate. Come back when you've got something worth fighting for." Lee rose, his GI crumpled, his face a mix of shame and exhaustion. The café was silent, save for the drip of spilled tea and the radio's faint hum. He looked at Tommy, then Jason, and without a word, stumbled into the rain, his silhouette fading into the neon night. Patrons exhaled, some clapping, others murmuring. Tommy and Jason shared a look, loyalty forged in battles older than tonight. "You didn't need to step in," Tommy said, wiping blood from his lip. Jason grinned, grabbing a broom. "And miss a scrap like that?" "Not likely, mate." As they cleaned the wreckage, the café came alive again. Patrons returned to their tables, the radio played on, and the smell of fresh dumplings filled the air. Outside, the rain washed away the night's chaos, but the lotus blossom stood stronger. This wasn't just a fight, it was Tommy defending his peace, Jason standing by his brother, and Lee facing the truth that vengeance burns out faster than heart. The café's lights glowed, a beacon in the drizzle, promising resilience and a damn good plate of buns. Tomorrow, it would open again, its story etched in every steaming dish.